All right, so I'm back from yesterday. Oh, I'm doing it all wrong again. Start of the stream, of course. Never mind. Yeah, so I've been looking at all of this. I have some interesting findings as well. Don't save. There we go. I think I found a way. It seems all pretty easy now. At first I didn't really understand, but now I do. How to find in IDA the main of your program and see exactly what it does. There's one other thing that I actually want to install. Oh. So yeah, we'll just continue where we left off yesterday. Yeah, detecting the AC is online. Is that really the latest version? That is the question. Yeah, it seems the latest version. Okay. Aww. You're weird. Never mind. Okay. Copy it. Well, it seems to be installed quickly. It is the die command and it's the die app. I wonder. Well, it took a while for that to load. But I'll want to put it. That doesn't work. Why do you not want to be? Can only open you. Okay. Into the taskbar. Unpin. Can I not just like? Weird. I cannot even like. I can just open it and that's about it. It's weird. Odd. Probably the shortcut. Okay, well, we'll try to fix that soon. If I put this in here, what? It does say nim. Nice. Okay. I believe if the entropy is like really high, it should be packed with something, but this does not look packed at all. Signatures, the mangle. Oh, this is the signatures, how you detect if it's NIM, I think. Okay, NIM4? Huh. File name, the function detect. Okay, so it looks in our data. Okay, it looks low for the size, and then offset IO NIM, find string, fatal NIM. So I guess that's a way how to detect it. Noise. How do you detect Go, for example? Go compiler. In the SimTab, okay. Ah, so you find different versions of that. I'm getting more interested in by the minute. All right. Let's go back where I was yesterday. What I needed to do, I thought I was at containers, or I was somewhere else. Almost at, oh, exercise. Yeah, okay. Okay. I think I was here, and then I wanted to go to procedures, or how you say that in English. And basically those are functions. Anyway, let me do the first one here. Let's see if I understand a little bit on the programming. I think I'm getting sick or something. I hope not, to be honest. All right. What was the question? Fill an array with the numbers 10, 20, and 100. Okay. An array is a const because I need to fill an array because a which is an int with 10. And here is my wrong unidentified oh wait, array. And now time got inspect but got a 10. Oh, see, different way around. So it's int and my array is 10. Now it's working. Perfect. Why do I get an error up here? Echo. Hey. Wait, what? expected this, but got a echo. Okay. Array 10 int. You want it is. That's not working. Oh. Because it counts, you cannot change it. You cannot change anything what's in there. It's just a constant. And I did something wrong, and I thought like you cannot change the array, but you can change the array with what's in there. So it cannot be a let, it cannot be a const, but it can be a variable. So if I now do this, I will get an array which is 10 zeros. Okay. Now I need to fill the array. For I in what was it again? Something with up. Let's see what I can find in. Trying to remember from yesterday. Yeah, I don't think it's in here though. I forgot what the name is. Yeah, for loop. Count up. Count up. Count up. In which you're gonna say it's gonna be 10, 100, and I need to count up 10 steps. So this is my beginning, this is my end, and this is the counts of steps that I need to do, which echo I. Oh, let's count up. Okay. Now I need to put that into the array, which is gonna be A, and I need a key is key. So I'm gonna global variable of, actually I can do it like this if I do it correctly. Key is 0, or I'll just put it like this. So I put a key up here, key is key, and then a ink key. Wait, key. Is this the way how to do it? Oh, I need to echo, of course. Echo. Okay. Well, I got some shit in there. That's because, of course, I have to put an I in here instead of K. Stupid me. That looks good. So I got my array built up. So it says, okay, fill an array with 10 and 100. Okay, I got that. Print only the elements of the array that are odd indices, values 20, 40. Multiply elements by even indices by 5. Print the more. Okay. If I mod 2 do I need to got in from if 10 mod 2 should return true. Got int for I mod 2 but expected a bool. You don't expect a bool, to be honest. Right. Expected but got a. That's true. If I mod 2 got int for I'm not expected a bool. I thought it worked like that. Oh. Right, I have to tell it if it's 0. So if I mod 2 is 0, then do that. Okay. Now it says that I have to exercise multiply elements on even indices by 5. Print and modify it in the array. So basically it's I times 5. Or that is how I think they expect it, because everything with 10 steps is actually the number, the odd indices. So technically that should be done. Okay. Got that. Couple things that I forgot, but hey, it works as it intended. All right, well, let's go to functions. I think that would be interesting as well. Procedures or functions, as they call it in some other languages, programming languages, are part of code that perform a specific task. Packaged as a unit, benefit will group to go together. Like this is what we can call these procedures. Procedures. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it correctly though. Instead of writing all the code over again, then we wish to use the procedure code. In some of the previous chapters, we have looked at Collat's conjecture in various different scenarios. By wrapping up the Collat's conjecture logic into procedure, we can have called the same code for all the exercises. So far, we have used many build procedures, such as echo for printing, add for adding elements for a sequence, inc to increase the value of an integer, len to the length of a container, etc. Now we'll see how to create and use your own procedure. Some of the advantages of using are reducing code duplication. Okay. Easy to read code, as we can name the pieces by what they do. Decomposing a complex task into simpler steps. As mentioned in the beginning of this section, procedures are often called functions in other languages. Yeah, that's what I actually expect, to be honest. This is actually a bit of misnomer. Oh man, this is even actually a word that I've never heard of. So I need to Google Translate this quickly. Google Translate, which is gonna be misnomer, which is English, and I need it to Dutch. Oh. Okay. So functions is actually they're using the wrong term for it. If we consider the mathematical definitions of a function, mathematical functions are taken by a set of arguments like f, x, and y, where f is a function and x and I are arguments, and always return the same answer for the same input. Huh. Interesting. Programmatic procedures, on the other hand, don't always return the same output for a given input. Oh, interesting. Sometimes they don't return anything at all. This is because our computer programs can store state in variables we mentioned earlier, which procedures and can read and change. In NIM, the word func is currently reserved for use as more as a mathematical correct kind of a function, forcing no side effects. Interesting. Okay. That's pretty cool. You actually thought of that. I didn't even thought of that at all. I just took it for granted, to be honest. Declaring a procedure. Before we can call our procedure. Oh, procedure. Procedure. Okay, never mind. It's the language. It's the language. So declaring a procedure. Before we can call our procedure, we need to create it and define what it does. A procedure is declared by using the proc keyword and the procedure name, followed by the input parameter and their type inside of the parentheses, and the last part of a colon, and the type of the value returned from a procedure like this. Okay. This is interesting. Proc name, p1, p type. Okay, it's the same, and then we have the return type. Basically, what we are returning. Okay. Some of what you also have, like in Go, for example. The body of the procedure is written in the intent block, following by the declaration append with a is sign. Why? proc find max xi int 1. If x is bigger than y, return y, else return x, else return y. This is outside of the procedure. This is outside of the procedure. So what kind of like throws me off is the is sign, to be honest. And I guess you have to put that every time in there. The echo language rating procedure just echoes the given name. Does return anything, so the return type is not declared. Normally, we're not allowed to change any of the parameters we are given. By doing something like this, we'll throw a error. So we got a proc change argument that, or variable or change. This will throw us an error. Okay. In order to work, we need to allow nym and the programmer using our procedure to change the argument by declaring it as a variable. So our variable is actually global. Okay, so it's a global thing. And because that looks like argument is int, so you cannot change that. Okay. That is how the argument now is declared as a for int and not just as a int. Okay, something to remember. I will mess that up, to be honest. This of course means that the name we pass, it must be declared as a variable, as well as passing in something assigned to const or let will throw an error. While it's good practice to pass things as arguments, it is also possible to use names declared outside the procedure, both variables and constants. Yeah, so it's global. Interesting. Interesting how that all works. I believe in Python we always said like, do not do any global shit. But it is possible. We can also update its value since it's declared as a variable. Calling the procedures. After we declared a procedure, we can call it. The usual way of calling a procedure functions in many program language is to state its name and provide the arguments in parentheses like this. Okay. The result calling from procedures can be stored in variables. If we want to call our findMax procedure from the above example and save the return variable in a variable, we can do that with okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. The results from the function findMax here named C and called with the results of the first two calls. Nym, unlike many other languages, support uniform call function syntax, which allow many different ways of calling procedures. This is one of the call where the first argument is written before the function name, and the rest of the parameters are stated parentless. Oh, interesting. I believe only D could do that. The D language. We have used this syntax when we were adding elements to the existing sequence, and this makes it more readable and express our intent more clearly when writing add sequence element. We can also omit the parentless around arguments. While seeing this style used when we call the echo procedure and when we are calling len procedure without any arguments. These two can also be combined like this, but the syntax, however, is not seen very often. The uniform call of syntax allows more readable chaining of multiple procedures. Let me see what Google translates. Oh. How do you pronounce this? Oh crap. I actually need up here. I agree.
Procedures.
Yeah, that's what I said. Procedures. Okay. I like to make sure I correctly say things. Of course, to be better in English and stuff. If multiple parameters are of the same type, we can declare their types in this compact way. First, we add a and a b, then the results of two. Okay, well, let's see what it's actually saying. So we have a procedure plus x, y, and both of them are integers, and it returns an integer back. Procedures multi x, y, and it's also integer, and it's times. Okay. So we have a is 2, so we get, so we cannot change these values. If I say that correctly, I always mess that up. Double check on the let again. Yeah, we cannot change them, but we can use things to declare later. And with const we cannot do that because it needs to be for compiler or execution of a program. We cannot change these, okay? That a plus b is plus a plus b. So a plus b, so basically what it's saying, so a plus b, so up here a plus b, blah blah blah, is the same as plus ab. Could be me, but I find it like readable. Both of them are easy to understand, but maybe it's that because of other languages that I've seen doing it like that. Basically, the plus will be saying like, okay, I call the function, and then within the function I put in a plus b. But of course we can also say like a, so 2, and then if we name it correctly, plus b. Yeah. Okay. If the multiple parameters are the same type, we can declare their type in this compact way. We add a and b, and then the result of the operation is 2 times 2 plus 3 is 5, passed as a first parameter to the multi procedure where we multiplied by c. So we're multiplied by c by 5 times 4 is 20. Wait, what? Is that 2? So first we say that, and then that. So we're first parameter where the added a is 5, and then 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, interesting. Okay. Then that does actually make sense, to be honest. That makes a lot of sense, to be honest. So C is 4 times B, and then plus that is 14. Or actually the outcome plus, oh, okay. Um. So can I? What if I have a int and a string? Is that possible to be in the same procedure? Find the biggest. So we get a sequence of int. We don't know how long the sequence is gonna be, and it returns a int. So okay. Find the biggest number. If it's bigger than result is number. And then end of procedure. And then basically says like, okay, well, 33 is the biggest. The type returns a int. The result variables are initialized with the default value of 0. I just wonder for a second. Proc. A int. String. Echo b.c. A1 test. Echo. Expected but got int. Yeah, then that's gonna work. Give me a second. Oh, right, okay. I cannot do echo and call the function. Okay, that's good to know. So let's say if I have b int. That's not gonna work. Expect with got int. Okay. Now let's say I want to have C as a string. Can I do that? Test. Yeah, okay, that is possible. But I cannot return. Let's see if I want to return a string. So I can return C. Test is a type of string and use discarded. Wait, I have to. Expression A3 test is type of a string and has to be used or be discarded. Oh, it needs to be used. Echo B. Oh, so this entire thing is string and it. So if I remove this, and I remove this, expression is a type of a string and has to be used or discarded. Oh, so that works. If I put in 3 up here and say, for example, B int, and I'm gonna call echo B. And how do I return B and C, which are 2 different things? Int for B, but expected a string. But can I not just like int string? No, because I declare A as a string. Oh. Okay. So if I'm right, and I want to program this in such a way, I cannot do this because I declared it as a string. It can accept an int and a string, but I need to return it as a string. I had some cases in Python where I returned basically like multiple things, but it seems that I need to change my programming. A lot more readable chaining, multiple procedures. Return valuable. A name every return is implicitly declared and initialized with the default result variable. And I cannot remove this because it actually wants a thing back. Like no return. String and int. There's a okay. But that doesn't to a string in no side effect. Yeah, so everything is returned back as a Game supports these function programming include the no side effect pragma, which steadily ensure that there are no side effects. Never heard about that one. I should check that out. Okay. So I guess that is not possible. So I guess I will have to return nil or something. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-dum. So I guess it's not just not possible. I have to live with it. So if I want to return this back as a string, I can only return it back as a string. But that means that I can do something with it and then return back the things that I want. In Python, you can basically return everything you just want. I guess that's the thing that I need to stop doing, because this isn't Python, even though it has a lot of similarities as Python. This is not Python. And there's no freaking way. Yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, that does work. B is int and C is a not int for B, but expected int comma string. Are you kidding me? Does this work? Because I put it in a tuple. Right. Without any... Oh. Nice. Okay, okay, okay. But number int type expected, but got number. Tuple. Oh, it's actually up here. Something I still need to read. Bananas too. Wait. Containers have tuples, by the other hand, can have whatever similarity to fixed size element of these whatever. Echo n, which would return field 0 is banana, field 1 is 2, field. But if you give them a name, in which maybe, so I return this back as a tuple, which is basically D is echo D. And declared variable, which I should declare, so D is tuple. Does that work? As a variable, of course. Type mismatch got int for a3 test but expected tuple. Okay, so that doesn't work. But let's say that I have something like this. Error return because I needed something. Can I just do this? Yes, that works. So it is a tuple, but I cannot name those things. Oh, it has to be used. Echo A0. This type of int string and has to be used or discarded. Oh, it has to be used like straight away. Okay. It can return multiple. Right. Okay, my mindset of programming has to change. Even though if I want to do those things, it is not always usable. So if you want to use it directly, this type of int string but has not used or discarded. Now, if I want to return this as a string, and I want to return this, C, we remove this. That works perfectly. But that wants to be that's because B is not declared, so for B string. Okay. And then I will say echo B, which basically will give me test. But what if I want to do another string in here? So double it up. Now that shouldn't work. Expression string oh, okay. But I don't do a return. So echo A, echo B. So for A B as a string, oh, because A is already in there. My bad. Give me a second. And I need to that doesn't work. Okay. Hey, Gracie. Thanks for the follow. And welcome to my English stream. Sure, but I will answer it in English. I think I just need to not think much about this and just continue. No clue. It depends what is your video card like making a lot of noise as well, like that type of a black screen, like your screen goes black and then you hear your video card like BIOS. No, I don't know. No clue. No clue. Okay. You can try to reset your BIOS. I'm not sure if you have done anything with it or not. But if you did, you have to reset it. I've no clue, man. I have no clue. Can I say... Yeah, okay. procedures or functions are called. Okay, I've been there. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I was up here. This of course means that the name we pass must be declared as a variable, as passing something assigned with constant let will throw an error. While it's good practice to pass things as an argument, it is also possible to use names declared outside the procedure, both variables and constants. Yeah. Calling the procedures. After we have declared a procedure, we can call it. The usual way of calling procedures functions in many programming languages is to state its name and provide arguments and in the parenthesis like this. Result from the find max here, blah blah. Okay, I think we have done this as well. Oh yeah, this is where we went. So yeah, multi. In nim, every procedure that returns a value has implicitly declared and initialized with default value results variable. The procedure will return the value of this result variable when it reaches the end of the intended block, even with no return statement. The return int, the result variable is initialized with the default for int0. When the end procedure is reached, the value of result is returned. Note that the procedure here is demonstrated as result variable and it is not 100% correct. If you would pass a sequence containing the negative number, this procedure will return 0, which is not contained in the sequence. Find biggest, blah blah blah. Keep odds. So put in a sequence. Oh, I guess I should just like put in a sequence and it doesn't really matter if I... Oh no, it's a tuple that I need to do. In name version, blah blah. Sequence are automatically initialized as string sequence. In name versions, sequence must be initialized without the line of the compiler thrown error. Note var must not be used as result already in. Okay. Inside of procedure, we can also call other procedures. That is good to know. So this returns a bool, this returns a sequence. You call it there because for some reason you want that. Once again, this line is not needed in the newer versions of NIM. Calling the previously declared procedures, it returns a bool. It can be used as a if statement, the third way of calling procedures as we saw above. Forward declaration. As mentioned in the very beginning of this section, we can declare procedures without a code block. The reason is that we have to declare the procedures before we can call them. Doing this will not work. The way to get around this is we call forward declaration. Oh. Interesting. Here we can tell NIM that it should consider the plus procedure to exist with its definition. Now we are free to use our code. This will work. This is where plus is actually implemented. It must be course match. So exercise modules. We're at modules now. Create a procedure which greet the person hello name based on provided name. Create a sequence of name. Greet each person using the create procedure. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that yet. Modules. So far we use the functionality which available by default every time we start a nim file. This can be extended with modules which give more functionality to a specific topic. Some of the most used nim modules are strutils, just as string utils, additional function when dealing with strings, secutils, additional function with sequences, math, which is for the algorithms, time, measure time, and deal with time. But there are many more, in which both called the standard library and the nim package manager. If you want to import a module and all of its functionality, all that we have to do is import module name in our file. This is commonly done on top of the file, so we can see importing. It splits strings in sequence of words to upper, converts all ASCII letters to uppercase. Repeat is also string utils module, and repeats either the character is a whole string sequence amount of times. Okay. I guess you also have strip like in Python, right? Ooh. To the user coming to another programming language, especially Python, this is always... Yeah, so I need to read this after this, what I'm doing here. So import math. The numbers are whatever. C radiant is to see whatever this is. Converting degrees to radiant with decrad. Dec to rad. Creating our own. Oftentimes we have so much code in a project that it makes sense to split it into pieces that each does a certain thing. If you create two files side by side in a folder, let's call them first file nim and second file nim, you can import one of the other as a module. Okay. Notice how the plus procedure now has an asterisk after its name. It tells nim that another file importing this one will be able to use the procedure. Okay. So this is public and this is like a private in a particular file. By contrast, this will not be visible when importing this file, because we get an error because there is no minor of asterisk number for it. Here we are importing the first file. We don't need to put the nim extension on here. This will work fine. And put 15 is declared visible to us. However, this will throw a error as the minus procedure is not visible. It doesn't have a asterisk behind its name. So in case you have more than of these two files, you might want to organize them in subdirectories or more than one subdirectory with the following directory structure. So my other my subdir, I believe we work on this second file, I guess. If you want to import all of the other files into the second file, this is how you would work. So import that, that, and that. How do you import if something is in the other directory? Do you like put a dot in front of it? Using the stuff we introduced so far, basic data types and containers, control flows, allows us to make quite a few simple programs. In this chapter we will learn how to make our program more interactive. For that we need an option to read data from a file, or ask the user for an input. Reading from a file. Let's say we have a text file called people.txt in the same directory as our name code. The content of that file looks like this. Okay. And then we do this. So we import that. I believe this should be for that. We do a let of the content, because we cannot change that. And then let people contents. Okay. To read the content of a file, we use read file procedure. To split multi-line strings into sequence of strings, each contains. Okay. That is because we didn't strip the new line. It sees the new line as whatever. To solve this problem of the final new line, we can use strip procedure from the str utils after you read a file. All this does is remove so-called white space from the start and the end of a string. Space is simply any character that makes some space, new line space, tabs, etc. Use strip to provide the expected results. If we want to interact with a user, we must be able to ask them for input and then process it, and we need to read from the standard library by passing the SCIN and readline procedure. Please enter your name. Hello, nice to meet you. Please no, come back to Goland. Hey Pierre, how you doing? There are a couple things why I wanted to do this, Pierre. Of course, I will come back to Goland. I like Go, but I also like to be more on system level, or I want to go system level. What I've learned so far. No, are you still here, Pierre? I think so, right? Yeah, okay. So what I've learned so far is if I open up my IDA and I want to be like familiar with some of the coding languages, so Python, Go, of course I want to learn this as well, because it kind of looks like Nim kind of looks like Python, but it's not. But I like that you can also do like low level stuff with it. And it is really nice finding things. Yeah, I thought it was Python at first. Yeah, me too. But technically it is just, it's basically like C coding, but in a scripting level, or on a scripting level. So the first thing when I was like doing this, I'm not sure what I have compiled yet. We'll see what I compiled, because I kind of forgot what I did. So when I opened this in IDA, and I was like, okay, how will I find the main, right? How will I find the main program? Which you see here is like, oh, you assume that this is main in sort of way, because whatever, because it has move 1, move 2, move 3, so you can basically assume that these are the arguments, so argc and whatever you get. You don't have it here because you have way too many stuff, but when you click on it, you'll be like, what the crap is this? Like, this ain't the main that I was looking for. But I noticed that in with Nim, your main program is always in a module. It starts as like a module or something, or this is what I like think of. And when I click on this is where I can see actually where my main is, what it's actually doing. So there's a lot of like crap in there as well. I'm not even sure what it exactly does, but I have here my strings. So it says Apple. You have a very different approach of programming, but it's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's I claim it on my dyslexic brain. I yeah, no, I just want to know different things, and I guess I have to use the programming as well. Well, my main goal, of course, is that I want to be really good at at reverse engineering, just by reading code, or how do I read certain code stuff, and how do I read this. Technically, what I've learned so far from this how to find main and everything is just like looking at it, and if you find so there's a lot of boilerplate code in here, which I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense at all, so that is all computer stuff, and like, don't look at that. But as soon as you find the functions that you actually need, you can make use out of it. What's this program that I actually like had here? Let's see what it does. My first program. Oh, so okay, so it puts in it's a tuple. Okay, so I kind of know that I'm looking for a tuple. Oh, this is also a thing that I couldn't figure it out. So if I have a function and I want to return a function, you can only declare it as a string, int, or whatever. You can only declare one thing that turns it back. But if I want to return a string, a int, and a tuple, you cannot do that in Nim. Which I was like, okay, I need to program in a really different way now. Anywho, where I was with this, so it puts everything in a tuple. So I believe this is some sort of boilerplate code as well to start things. So this says banana. Yeah, this is boilerplate stuff. So it starts here with my program. And then it puts in banana first. Then it puts in apple second. Banana. So I think, if I'm correct, this is called copy string. I don't even know what I put in the code. Why do I need to compare stuff and then grab the rest of the banana, apple, and whatever what it was? Apple, wait, C. Wait, what? Where does banana come from? Apple? Banana. Wait, I think I remember where the code came from. Reading user input tuples. Oh. So this is the code. So we now know how to find main, or a part of our whatever. So we're calling this O1, which is gonna call banana. Then we have o.name is apple, so apple has to be written or change. Oh, and echo O. So to be echo, I have learned that this is echo. So echo bin safe, which I figured out by going to the nim GitHub language and echo bin safe, and then it is in here, which is basically the boilerplate code for, do I say correctly, boilerplate code for writing it on screen. This file is opening a file, okay, writing a file, read a file, append. So echo bin. So I've learned that proc is actually a function. So compiler proc. So this is, I believe this is a template. So it's a template for whatever compiler proc is. So to echo certain things on certain systems is different. Android. When defined windows and compile options are threads, acquire echo lock. When defined windows, write windows std out, which I believe it is. Yeah, so windows, write windows. So write windows, if I think this looks google.com. MSDN. Is there like a write windows in here? Or is this a command that they have made? I think that they made. But SD out is just like putting things on screen. With a line feed, so new line. Yeah, so this is what I have come up with so far. So it's technically, even though if I like put it in release mode, even in release mode, it plays it as echo bin safe in this. nim0mem. Not entirely sure what that is, but I think it should be like cleaning memory or something. Array pass the argument the DK. So if we get, we rather have red lock. Okay. So nim set mem up. So that looks like it's like clearing. So could that be like discard? So if you have a command discard, I figured out in discard O. Basically it's just clearing O up and trashing it. You're trashing my rights, you're trashing my rights. And I cannot click on this. Why? This is a command, but it's not, whatever. But we'll figure that out. But I think it actually does that, what it actually says. So nim0mem, so clear the shit out. Yeah, so this is how I've been trying to figure out, like, simple programs and try to see if I can reverse engineer it. But these things are like basically saying a lot, but it's just like looking at the compiler, how they have in documents and how that all works. Oh, by the way, up here, I'm not sure if you have seen my GitHub. So far, my project is so far done. It is printing nicely on Discord everything that I wanted. It's a 20 megabyte big program, but it works. And I got it for CTF time, of course. Printing the right things. I got it for CrackMiss, so I basically figure out the latest CrackMiss that is coming in. And root. Oh, root, not root. GitHub. So basically, if I like something, I click on star. It basically will also put it on Discord for everyone to know that I like something, which is interesting. I believe I can make much better code and not reuse most of it. But the other way is like if you do not want a module, you can basically like delete it, or you add your own module and delete it. So it was with the idea just like deleting things really quickly. The other approach that I want to think of is like I just want to make how do you call that, like a template. So I'll put in a URL, I'll make a template how it should be posted to Discord, and then the program will just figure it out how that works, so I don't have to create all this crap all the time. Just a JSON file and a URL, and then it should figure out like from the template and the rest, like, okay, this is what I need. I think that is doable in Go. I really think it is. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know where it's zeroing it out. So we got Apple right here, right? So it says copy string. So the copy string. Rex and Rex, my new first program. So it's calling that. It's calling the O. Oh, I see the O up here. Okay. And basically it replaces O. Oh, I see now. I should find 7. So this is, I think this is 7. Wait, I can. Do it the other way around. It's much easier to read. Okay, so so we have banana here, which only have banana, which there's nothing else in here, just banana. But the weight is 2. Quickly gonna try to see if I can figure this out. So it starts up here. this up here. I think. Yeah, okay. So it starts here. This is creating the variable what I think. Put rex in var 8, whatever it's in var 8, I do not know. But we have banana, put that on the tuple. So we start with, we have O, we have banana, we start with, where does name come from? So we give the tuple a name. Copy string. And we have a rating of C, which is up here. So C and 7. Wait. On 2. Okay, so 2 on EX. I need to... Okay. See. And then we have a keyword, which is basically like replace 1 in the tuple with 7. And then we have the apple here, which replace O name. It's calling every time. Actually use a user docu. That's my document. Field 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a minute. Is this my fields of my tuple? I think it is. If you... I think it is. Instead of calling it name, weight, and rating, maybe they changed it to fields 0, 1, and 2. So if I put more up here, I will have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's so sad that I do see times. Oh, I didn't even know what I was saying like a few minutes ago, but... So, I think the access user doc, this looks, it feels like a tuple. And it does it here again. So it starts here. That O, wait. Okay. Then it basically says like up here, like whatever this is. I need to FAR 28. I think I should know how to calculate these things. So Rux is whatever field this returns, field 1, 2, or 3, which I think you can figure this out. Yeah, okay, I think I see it. In a different way, but I need to figure out how to use this. So, my fields. So RBP FAR is just like whatever Rux is. So it calls up that and replace it with 7. Then it calls whatever field's name is, replace this with apple. Which it does right here. So it copies the string, blah, blah, blah. And then 0 the shit out of the memory, just whatever. Put the new value in. And then echo it to the screen. So whatever is up here or something. What is $? I think that works. I think that works like that. Okay, so what I do need to do is like I need to change this a little bit to have more names. So I think what the compiler does is it replaces the names with field 1, 0, field 1, field 2. Instead of me having nicely created names. It looks like O. And then echoes it. And then if that is done, enter main module and done. So the next time if I see something like this written in nim, I basically would say like, oh, that looks like a tuple. And this 7 up here is trying to replace the first field. And then we have oh yeah, this apple is trying to replace banana with apple, or actually the weight. This is the weight, so you have to count from 0, of course, and then this will replace 0, and then we try to echo it up here because the replace is much more code than I actually thought of. And then it clears the stuff up. I need to figure out what $$ means. Is $$ also a thing in this? I wish there's like I wish they did a little bit more of how do you call that, saying exactly what things do in this repository $. So there is a $. thing in tspec. Yeah, comments. Yeah. So discard output 0 blah blah. Yes, in string join. Okay, so it is doing that. So proc dollar, what does it do? To stringable echo x. So it's echoing. Yeah, some programmers say comments are useless and the code could be written self-explained. True. True. You know, sometimes it's better to like overcompensate, if I say that correctly, like the things that I do, right? Technically, the way I think how I programmed this tool up here is explaining or explaining. But of course, I do put some of the well, some of the stuff in there, some of the comments. Some of their really beautiful code that's just easy to understand, but sometimes short comments would help. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, this is why I also put InfoLogger in there, because if you look at InfoLogger starting the latest write-up, so oh yeah, so the functions it's starting and it's connecting to the SQL database. Well, technically it says SQL open SQLite 3 and then get the string of the database path from whatever, from the configuration file. So technically this is kind of self-explained on how this entire code works. So, but sometimes I do put in like, okay, for data objects, and like, what the hell is this? And I was like, oh, you unmarshal into slices. So this 2 lines. And the same thing here is like, what the hell is Julian Day? Well, technically I couldn't use the thing that I wanted to do here is I want to calculate if the days were 0. If it's not 0, then change the times. Yeah, but for Golang, people are complaining if you use your logger in a repo module. You should give it user to change his own logger if he wants. Wait, what? Is that true? If you use my own logger? Okay. That is strange. Yeah, people can easily control it and you don't want to change your code. Oh, technically it's pretty simple to remove all the InfoLogger stuff out of there and done. Basically, it's just for me, right? Like, just to know that everything is done correctly. If the website gives a some type of error back, give me the error. Of course, it's a little bit too much, but don't mind that. Yeah. Oh, actually, I have done this. This is done. I have not removed this. Anyway, okay. So technically, dollar is just toStringable. I'm not sure what toStringable is. Wasn't it with GitHub that you can click on it and then it basically moves to the thing that you want it to go? So echo just echoes, does something, and then actually puts it on my screen, which is echo bin save. I don't know what that is, and then it ends. So the next time if someone sends me like a small thing like this, I should know that this is a tuple. And of course I need to like remember all these things as well. Or how to RBP plus var 60. So what is actually in there? So rux, which is blah blah, which is that. Where does it put its crap in? What was rux again? And shit. Rux. There's no such E. Oh, yeah, EEX. Okay, yeah, right. Wait, what? Move to an EEX? That's weird. So, EEX. Wait. Into E. Like, let's say this EEX. And then this is EAX plus whatever this is. So EEX plus that, and that will be the address of where the thing is. Ah, okay, I get it now. There's one more nice thing to GitHub. You can press in the code and you'll get the VS Code in your browser. Wait, what? Where? How? Is that a module or an add-on or something? Just anywhere in... Press the dot on your keyboard. I clicked on the dot, but it's not doing anything. Where are you? Yeah, I think I don't have... I thought it's something happened last time when I was like doing this, something like this that worked. Or change the .com to .dev. I guess I need to log in for these things. In which I cannot right now, but okay. Oh, but that is pretty cool. Hey, you know what? Let me try this. Dev? Give me a second. Let me blur my screen for a second. And I know there's a research basically saying like, oh, but we have a research where we can just now blur your screen and we will have your password. Authentication code. Okay, okay, I think I am logged in now. Oh, this is nice. Wait, this is on the website itself? Wait, this is not my, right? Oh, you're not, Oh, wow. This is cool. Yeah, this blows my mind. Okay, the thing is with GitHub, when I signed up for my account, just because I want to do these learning streams and see what kind of things I can get and get better, I was like pretty amazed with the login screen. Like I had such a great feeling, like, oh, I'm going to space and nice. So now I can actually find dollar and click on echo. No. Oh, it's up here. So we have the to stringable is concept. And what is concept? What is concept? And I need to figure out what type actually means. I'm going to drop off today. Have a nice evening. See you. Hey, Pierre, thank you so much for joining me again, and see you next time. Have a great evening or day. I'm not sure where you're from, but have a great day. All right, I drift off a lot, to be honest. I drift off a lot, which I'm going back to what I was actually doing, to the NIM basics. And I was actually at creating your own module, so I need to figure out how to work, if I'm in this file, how to call the directory up, which I don't know. We'll figure it out. If you want to import all files in your second file, this is how you would do it. First file, interacting with user input. Oh, I'm going to drift off again. Yes, I now know what to do. I got a DLL file. Oh wait, crackmess.1. Latest crack. Wait, search. I want to know if someone has cracked me name. I don't know. It is a Windows. That is what I want. But I want to know if someone has created for the NIM language. And I guess there's nothing for NIM. No, there's nothing for the NIM language, which is pretty cool. This is also written in Go app. Anyway, let's finish this before I am like all over the place again and I'm doing my shit. Okay, interacting with user input, using the stuff we introduced so far, basic data types and containers, control flows, loops, allows us to make quite a few simple programs. In this chapter, we will learn how to make our programs more interactive. For that, we need an option to read data from a file, or as user for a input. Let's say we have a text file called people.txt. Oh yeah, that's what I've been reading so far. If we want to interact with a user, we must be able to ask them for an input and then process it, and use it. We need to read it from a standard input SDN by passing the SDN to the read line procedure. So echo, enter your name. So you do not put that into your... I guess not. The type of name is inferred to be a string. Please enter your name, okay. Using outdated version of whatever. Dealing with numbers. reading from a file or from a user input, always give a string a result. If we would like to use numbers, we need to convert strings into numbers. We again use the to convert the integers or parse float to convert into float. Please echo. Okay. Here, bird. Well, I believe this has been written in 2018, so yeah. Convert a string to an integer. When written like this, we trust the user to give a valid integer. What would happen is a user inputs 97, damn, or 93. Try it yourself. Well, if we do that, we might crash, because basically what you said is like we get well, it assumes that age is an integer, right? Double checking. Oh, this is maybe also something that I would put into IDA and try to figure out how to do all these. Okay. Here we go. So it's saying 97. Please enter your birth. You are... Damn, I'm too old. Okay. And if I put in 93. Yeah, of course, because it accepted this as an integer and I don't have an integer. It is failed. Why are you failing us? And a cut. Wait. Let's add that. Yeah. That doesn't work. We have numbers.txt in the same directory as our name code. We follow the content. Okay. And we want to read the file. The other time the sum of average. So we open. Just quickly want to see if I open it in IDA. So what we have learned so far is that this is of course not our main, even though there's a lot of args, argsv and whatever. Nim main is not our main either, and nim main inner, nim main module. This is how we get to our main program. This is what I've learned so far. Actually, there are plenty other ways to get also to main when it's not obfuscated code. But this is how you get to main. So, I'm in main right now. So technically what we do is like copy this over here. And then we grab our little itty bitty code here, which is I am actually importing through utils. And I would assume that I would not see utils in there. But Ego, please write your name. So it should be up here. You are... Okay. So it grabs UR. This is printing it on screen. Year of your birthday, new program, which is rocks, so EX, whatever the memory address is, put that in here, which is up here. So technically whatever I have put in here, so this is actually from readline. So readline puts this confusing. So you first put this on the RBP and FR8, put that in rocks, and then it says like, oh, put it back, I don't want it. I don't I don't want it. Whatever this is, I have no clue. And then it says that, okay, put that into the program and blah 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 blah. And where is my echo? Yeah, echo bin says is up here. So it basically creates everything first and then it prints it on screen. Oh, actually there are two. Oh, true. This one is, I believe it should be for UR. And that's not entirely true. There should be also, please enter your up here, which is read line. Read line, blah blah blah. Cool. That is not mine. Okay. Get me the strings. I quickly want to see where my string is. So the string that I am looking for is please enter your birthday. So got that. Scroll up a little bit here. So this is our data in the header section of our data, which is UR. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Oh, okay. This is the +8. Up here, which is UR, but rocks. It has a 2 up here and has a 6 up here. So the 5 is UR. However, I believe because the string is a little bit too big. Ah, okay, I see it. That is sneaky. So we got up here. Then please enter your name because it has to make a little bit more space. This is why our data puts it up here, but it has a main reference. I think it up here, but it says like, nope, you will find it somewhere else. The princess is not in the castle. So this actually offsets to this up here. And then we have this up here. Oh, you sneaky little string. So the number 2 is basically saying like the princess is in a different castle. Okay. So the princess is in a different little castle. It says it to RX. RX says like, call Echo Bin Safe. We need to print this shit. And Echo Bin Safe says like, no problem. I'll do it. Why I have this, I have no clue why it's actually in here. I'll try to figure that one out soon. So, Rock says like, hey, RVP, maybe you have something in FAR8? FR8 and then that. Okay. And then for some reason, 32-bit shit comes in. It's like, hey, I'm important too. I'm like, nope, you're not, but hey, good luck. I think this might be some type of, I don't know, what is this? It has a code reference of the print. Okay. Maybe it's something that has to be on screen, but try to have to figure that one out. So, Rock says like, hey, we need to call readline. And readline says like, no problem. I'll put things on your screen. I'll wait for the user to put some shit in. As long as it is a string and not an int, or as long as it is an int and not a string. But the program says like, I don't care. And then the shit that I put in will be posted on your birthday, my first new program. So somewhere in here it says like, hey, I got some stuff for you. It has a reference to this up here. We'll start printing the shit for you. Like, oh, you got some free space for me? Just put it in there. And then the program says like, yeah, no, I'll save this shit for you. We're gonna call it I wonder if we can see oh no. Age is 2018 minus year of birth. So this is still okay. It will be interesting if I can see how age is being called. So we got this one up here, which is age. Okay. And I wonder if CMD count has something to do with it, but I don't think so. So we call age. So we're gonna define it, and there's dollar again. We also need something with 2018 years old. First we need to say what actually it is, but I need to figure out where is 2018. I think this has something to do shit, I need to go back and study again, I guess. Where can I find 2018? This ain't 2018. Oh, this is 2018. Let age is minus year of birth. So RBP with var8 is where I have put in my number. Oh, sub. Sub. Oh, okay. I think this is subtraction with 1. Or no, this is not 1. Subtraction with short log whatever. So whatever I've put in here subtracts. So I would assume that I will find this up here. And that should be subtracting. With year of birth, which is not age. Rocks is blah blah. Move 2018 and subtract with rocks. Oh, wait a minute. I think I see it. So put rocks in this variable. And then we say I think this is like points to, right? Points to the memory address where it is. So rocks is ECX is 0, EDX is 2018 EDX. So I think this should have been RDX, and then it says, okay, this is where I'm like messed up. So 2018, so rocks is 2018, and subtract with RDX. So this up here is calculating it. I guess this is some type of check. And 1. This is some type of check, I guess, and then it's up here, whatever number I have. RDX, the number goes into rocks. And 1, I don't know exactly what this means yet. But I have my new number. And then basically prints it out. You are, and this is years old, which is in copies. So rocks is RCX. So call copy string. So I guess that is where my age is. And then print it out and then. Okay, I think I see it. I need to learn a little bit more about other things. Which is kind of messed up because yeah, it's been over a year. Crap. But I think I see it. I think I see what it is doing. Interesting. I think I need to do it much more for other languages as well. Okay. So EDX actually is like RDX. Why it does that, I don't know. But this is subtraction from each other. And jump not equal. Okay. I think I see what is going on. Okay. I am going to check something out today. What time is it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, and what we want to read, file, sum, average number. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we're opening utils because we're gonna do some math and some sequences, and we need some string help. So I believe this read file comes from string. Sequence, and this is from math. We import the modules gives us strip and split line, and sequels gives us map, and math gives us sum. Yeah, that's what I thought. Or refile is, oh, okay, only these two comes from there, and refile is just a thing itself. As so we got the exercise. As for a user for the weight and height, calculate the BMI. No, I'm not going to do that. Conclusion, it's time for conclude this tutorial. Hopefully it's been useful to you. It is actually. And you managed to make the first steps of programming and or the NIM programming language. These have been only basics, and we have only scratched the surface, but it should be enough to enable to make some simple programs, some more simple puzzles. NIM has lots more to offer, and hopefully you will continue to explore the possibilities. If you want to continue NIM, and NIM by example, and there's something I want to read first, which is called the imports in NIM. All right, it's a old blog from the same author that wrote this. So, one of two major complaints about NIM, mostly from people who don't use NIM, is the way imports are handled. Kinda, yes, because, yeah, the majority of these complaints come from people who work in Python and see NIM as a potential Python replacement or language as they can use can speed up parts of their code existing code. 2 years ago, I was one of those people. I came to the Python world. I had just started using NIM and immediately started complaining on NIM RSC channel about wrong imports. This post is inspired by a realization that in those 2 years of using NIM, not even once had a problem with imports. And to help other newcomers NIM by answering what probably the most common question about NIM imports. Why are you the way you are, Michael Scott? Python imports. Every Python programmer should be familiar with PEP8. Yeah, somewhat. Which is a style guide for Python code. In its import sections, there is among other following recommendations. Wildcard imports, that's right, should be avoided as they make it unclear which names are present in the namespace, confusing both reader and many automated tools. This except can be easily explained and just justified by just following example from math star from blah 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 blah. And then we print whatever square root of -4. Not only does it confuse both readers and many automated tools, it does different things based on the order of the imports, because the latter ones override the functions of the same name of the previous ones. The code as it is written above the produces runtime warnings, invalid value encountered by square root. Had the CMAT imported been last one, it would have printed 2J. Right. A similar override behavior can observe when one of the username names and existing functions. Wait, I am reading yeah, it's Python. Similar overriding behavior can be observed when uses the name of an existing function for their variables, the usual over our variable list, or some unimportant list which doesn't even deserve it dedicates meaningful name and variable sum. For the result of some manual addition, after you create those two variables, you can no longer use built-in lists to convert an iterable to a list, nor you can give some numeric iteration. Python allows you to do this without any warning. Yeah, that's true. Soon enough, Python developers learn to use import modules name and then modules functions name, so it doesn't override other module function name. This work great, it solves the real problem and it makes things easier. Why does name just copy that? The Nim way. Nim offers several different ways to import modules and functions, but the usual complaint is that import module name doesn't work the same as Python. For example, it does force you to fully qualify access to important symbols. You can just do function name without specifying which module it comes from. It sure does feel like Python star imported from the module name, which, as we have seen, is a big no-no. First off, those two are equivalent. Unlike Python star import, nim still allows you to fully qualify the access symbols. Module name dot function name, it will prefer the Python way of doing these things. Alternatively, if you only import functions or two, you can use the same syntax as the same behavior as Python from module name import function blah blah blah. A similar syntax from the module import nil can be used if you prefer to enforce fully qualified access to give the familiar Python behavior. This is usually discouraged and it will backfire soon or later. More on that in the next section. But if you insist this is the only import behavior that you're willing to work with, Nim gives you that opportunity. If you're stubborn, if you are a stubborn Pythonista, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but who stick with PEP8 even in other languages, the option mentioned above will give you the Python imports that you want. On the other hand, if you would like to see why the Nim way of importing isn't really a problem in Nim, but it's in Python and maybe embrace the star-like imports in the future, keep on reading. So consider the following Nim code. Import math complex. Okay, get it. Unlike the Python example above, there is no ambiguity about which square root to call in these two cases, nor is there any overriding happen, because Nim is statically typed and the compiler can disambiguate, I don't even know how to pronounce this word, between the functions of the same name with the different signatures. And compiler can between functions of the same name but different signatures. So math in Nim, and then you have complex Discord. Nim suggests Nim tools give the IDE-like capabilities, is not confused by the original code. Go to definition works correctly in any code editor which support Nim via plugins. If you want to do math and complex for your own sake, but if you want to blindly follow the Python way, then you should do Z is complex. This is not only get tiresome, it makes the code write down ugly and harder to read. In the above example, we enforce everything to be fully qualified. We do not easily see where the stuff comes from, but I'm not sure this is more readable than the idiomatic Nim. Yeah, this looks so much cleaner. So I believe in table or in complex. We do really need to. Okay, we still having these square roots, right? Math and complex. Complex has that. We do really want to need a constant reminder that additional of the two complex numbers is defined by complex module or has settlers and getters for the table defined in the table module. You can think of nim modules as set of functions operating on a specific type. Introduce that the module. This isn't a fact quite similar to Python case and their method of how PEP8 states. When importing a class from a class containing module, it's okay to spell this. Okay. This is exactly what nim offers you to do with the import module. You can directly use classes in their method, just like you would in Python. Name collisions. If there are two functions with the same name and the same signature from the two different imports modules, import complex, import my complex, we will get an, oh, I get it now. Looks at signature as in that, okay. We will get an error at compile time about the ambiguity. To solve this, we can fully qualify just those clashing functions without need of changing how the module is imported or the way other functions from models were invoked. Unlike Python, where this would be larger refactoring. Alternatively, we just interested in one of those clashing functions. We can use import module name except some functions. So we don't want to have ABS in there because ABS is a match. Okay. Notice that we introduce ABS variable trying to provoke its name collisions like Python example list and some variables, but this is not a problem in nim. Okay, I might okay. This is mind-blowing. Coming from Python, this is easy to dismiss things that remind us of Python anti-patterns. There's a reason why people advise against them in Python. Nim syntax is deceiving on the surface and it looks just like Python with static typing. It's hard to see why it differs from Python in some details. The truth is that Nim is much more than that, and some design choices are there for a reason and they make sense in Nim. Hopefully this article sheds some light, motivate you in deep dive in them and discover some hidden goodies not visible when looking at from a distance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and this is also a thing. Like, I prefer camel cases as well instead of snake cases. Right. I need to do something. And I'm going to reverse engineer that one thing soonish. But I think I have now some conclusions, or conclusions not, I actually like understand what Nim is and what it does. And it is interesting, to be honest. Dark mode. version 1.64, which is version is nim these days. Nim. Oh. It is on. Oh, okay. Maybe I should read this part as well to learn something. Newer functions. Because this is actually 1.64, which is the latest version. I think I should do that. I should go through this, but I think go through it a little bit more quickly. And I love this page, actually, Rosetta Code. I really do. I really love this as well. Oh, you can actually code in here? Are you kidding me? You can? Oh, shit! Remote Explorer. Oh, this is pretty cool. How do I go to... Oh, it auto-saves it as well. Huh. Can I now do this? Go back. Hmm. Okay, if I do this and I go to dev, just... Oh, this is pretty cool. And I believe I can actually... Yeah, I can do that. I wonder if I can just like edit certain things and then just like push it. Like, oh, I fucked up here, and then it's like, let's edit the shit. I saved it. So I also push it? I think I can only see it instead of... Oh damn, I just changed it, okay. Ah, nice. I like it. If you want to just like quickly change things. Huh. Nice. And there's no way to go directly to... No. Very interesting. Okay. I love it. I do. Okay. If this is part 1, where's oh, there's part 2. So there is no part 2. Oh, there is a part 2. Which looks a little bit more advanced. Okay. Boop. Okay. Der Mensch ist doch doch ein Augentier. Der schöne Dinge wünscht ich mir. So the human is Augentier. Schöne Dinge wünsche ich mir. So people are animals too. And something with Rammstein. Ach so. Ach so. Okay. The human is also the German. Come on. Man is an animal in his eyes. I wish for beautiful things. Yeah. Augentier. Okay. Von den Rammstein. Ach ja, ich liebe dich, meine Rammstein. But it's too bad that I cannot play this on stream, else I would have done it. Of course, we all know the reasons that we cannot play this on stream is because DMCA. And after the things that I'm doing, I will like push this to YouTube and yeah, hopefully learn for certain things. All right, this document. Let's. Okay, this document is a tutorial for programming language NIM. This tutorial assumes that you're familiar with the basic programming concepts like variables, types, or statements. I did right now. Here are several other resources for learning NIM, which I have done this one, which is nice. A gentle introduction of concept of mentioned above, which I have done. Quick 5 minutes, actually. Types. I saw in some code they also put in type, but I don't think it's been. No, it's not in here. All right, never mind. Add this to my bookmarks. Done. This document is a tutorial for programming language in NIM. This tutorial assumes that you're familiar with the basic programming concepts like variable types of statements. Yep. All code examples in this tutorial, as well as ones found. The rest of NIM documents follow the NIM style guide. Ooh, there's a NIM style guide. Like PEP, but different. Should follow a consistent set of style guides when suitable. This enhanced the proposal aim to list a series of guidelines that will standard libraries should follow. Note that there can be exceptions to these rules. NIM being as flexible as it is, there will be parts of this style guide that don't make sense in certain contexts. Furthermore, just a Python style guide changes over time. This style guide will too. The rules will be enforced for contributions to the NIM code base and official projects such as NIM compiler, the standard library, and various official tools such as C2NIM. Right, this is what I've learned. 2 spaces instead of 4, or a tab. Line should no longer be 80 characters. Limiting the amount of information present on each line makes more readable code. The reader has smaller chunks to process. Okay. Two spaces should be used for ident blocks. Tab stops are not allowed. The compiler enforces this. Using spaces means that the appearance of the code is more consistent across the editor, unlike spaces tab stops with variation across editor and will not allow editors to provide meaning that changing this width. Although it uses the white spaces for stylistic reasons other than one endorsed by the guide are allowed. Carefully through it should be put into such practice. Not all editors support automatic alignment. of these sections and realigning long sections by the code hand of quick become tedious. This is bad, as the next someone comes to edit this code block, they must realign all the assignment again. Naming conventions. Type of identifiers. Type identifier should be in Pascal case. Okay. All other identifiers should be camel case, with the exception of constants which may use Pascal case but are not required to. A variable is meep, and all types. Right. Okay, that's the same thing I do with others. For constant coming from C plus C/C wrappers, all uppercase are allowed but ugly. Why shout constant? Constants do no harm. Variables do. Okay. When naming a type that come in value pointer, pointer and reference variates, use the regular name for the variety, not be used the most, and add a object ref or pointer suffix to the other varieties. Okay. We'll exception and error type should have error or defect suffix. Bad style try to inherit. Value error is object of catchable error. Defect is object of defect. Oh damn, this storm is horrible. Oh, this storm is really horrible. The wind is so bad right now up here. With the storm Eunice, I believe it's called. That I actually can hear the roof like how not even sure how you call that. It's like Foo is object of exception. That style try to inherit catch error or defect. Unless marked with pure pragma, members of enum should have identified prefix such as abbreviation of the enum name. My path is enum pc there. Non-pure enum values camel cases were put enum. Instead of age of HTTP, HTML, blah, 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 it's foolish to pretend these somewhat special words requiring all uppercases. Instead, treat them as what they are, real words. So it's parse URL rather than parse URL. Check HTTP header instead of HTTP header, etc. My lord, if I need to remember all these things. Actually, it's technically very true, to be honest, so I should do that more, and I make that mistake so many times. So yes, I mess up a lot. Operations like my items or mpare are now deprecated with mget. Or now the mget are allowed mutating view into some data structures should start with a m. And both into some data structures should start with an m. Let's see what this is. Iterators. Iterates over each item of A so that you cannot modify the yielded value. Oh, so you can modify the yielded value. BC string, that's it. Jesus. If I need to learn all these commands, I'll be damned. Allows you to mutate over. Okay, when both in place. Returns formed copy is available past. And both in place mutations and returns transformed copy of the available. The latter is the past. Reverse and reverse algorithms. In all in place. The standard library API is designed to be easy use to use and consist. Easy use of measure by number of calls or achieve concrete high-level action. The ultimate goal is that the programmer can guess a name. The library uses a simple naming scheme that makes common abbreviation. Keep the name short and meaningful. English word to use. New foo. Init foo. Is or self, find. Contains, append, add. Compare. To return with. Put, get, length. Size, cap. Capacity, cap. Memory, mem, items, pair. Coding conventions. The return statement should ideally be used when the control flows properties are required. Use a procedure implicit result variable whenever is possible. This improves readability. Returns a string, so repeat string. But if repeat is a int. Oh no, that's not an int, that's true. It's just and I guess I can convert it as well. Okay. A proc is use a proc when possible. Only use more powerful macros, templates, iterators, and converters when necessary. Use let statement, not the var statement, when declaring variables that do not change within the scope. Using the let statement ensures that the variables remain immutable and gives those read the code a better idea of the code purpose. And I am almost done reading this. Tuples which are longer than one line should intend their parameters to align with the parameters above it. So we got a type, which is the tuple A, tuple blah blah in word blah blah comma string, and okay. Similarity, any procedure and procedures type declaration that are no longer than one line should do the same thing. Multi-line procedures call continue on the same column as opening parenthesis likely multiple line. Execute the current directory miscellaneous. Use a b instead of a. Okay, so okay. Except when b contains an operator, for example, -3. Likewise, with other operations, start with dot dot. Use the std prefix standard library module, namely use the prefix standard library namely use OS for single module and use OS for multiple modules. Multi-line, triple quote, line and semantic identical. It's a feature of triple quote. Okay. This is unclear because they align with the next line. Use this instead of this. Get a API private field foo, which should preferably name foo, not get foo. Get a getter like API should preferably name get foo, not foo, if the API side effects is not caused. For in between cases, there's no clear guideline. Likewise, the API replaced with foo or with foo is with get foo or set foo with the above text. Yeah. Okay. Get it. Local dark mode. Jesus, this is ugly dark mode. This is very ugly dark mode. Okay. Okay, we start with the tour with a modified hello world. Echo hello, what's your name? String. Far name string is read line. Okay, you can do that actually. So this saves the code to file greeting nim. Now compile and run it. So we have done that. And we can reverse engineer this. The only thing that I haven't done is look it up in Ghidra. That's one thing. IDA, okay. What's your name? Hi, Nick. Okay, yes. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is, of course, find the main program. Where is it like running? So, as I said before, of course, main is not the main thing. Even though it has all the arc, whatever, I believe this is actually from the compiler itself. We have the call up here, and then it's like running like the pre-main. You don't look at the pre-main, you don't look at the Leah, you actually look at this one up here, and then you get into the nim main module. So because it's all in modules, this is how you find the modules in nim, or this is how you find the main in nim. Now copy that over next to my code up here. As you can see, there's nothing fancy up here. These weird strings, these are most likely well, actually first it starts with some things that the compiler came up with. So we have like this text for up here, but basically doesn't say much. I think this is something with the compiler. It gets this, whatever this does, register global markers. The fun part starts up here, which is which this one up here is what is your name. So, and we can actually see this because there's an echo bin save, which basically gives away that it's actually printing. It's going to print things on screen, which you can actually look at the compiler code, and it basically says it's std out. So it puts this into, well, in Rex, which is EDX in 32-bit, put it into bin save, print it on the screen. Then the next thing is, of course, you can already see it, is a read line, which is a dead giveaway for, okay, something needs to be put in. We have a variable. Okay, let's see if I can find the variable. So echo bin save, and then it's coming up for the next thing. So it says, okay, database, double clicking. So this is just for, okay, go back. This might be something for not entirely sure. I need to figure it out where to do whatever. Of course, it's a read line. Then it puts in RDX. Then actually put the name first in program, and then it's zero out. I think this is just like cleaning up. It's just cleaning up what I have been doing, and then it put actually what I have said back also into RCX. Then it grabs this, which is the high, comma, copy that string, then grabs the thing, my first new program, which should be my name, copy that string over into that, and then it actually says up here, whatever question mark it is, copy that string, make just one big thing out of it, and then it prints it out. Now my question is, I have a variable name, which string is. So I wonder if I could find. So if I put it into a tuple, tuple will say field 1, field 2, field 3, or actually starts with 0. So the names that I put in there, it says like, I'm gonna change the name to fields. That's what I thought. So how do you see a variable which is name, but I believe it's not going to be called name, it's why is there a 4 in there as well? Hi. 1, 2, 3. Oh, is that 4 bytes long or something? 4 bytes, and then it says like, okay, these are the numbers that you need. Okay, so, okay, this is the name. Yeah, this makes sense. So it's name, my first program name. It reads everything and it puts it in there. It grabs this and a copy string. Basically, I think that is just like copy this string, and copy this string, because it's gonna be 3 strings, and then echo it because of the comma. Okay. All right. Well, it's almost midnight for me. I think I understand what is going on here. I wonder certain things. Anyway, yeah. I think I have this simple things under control and to read in IDA how all this works. But exactly for NIM, of course. Actually, I should try to find more NIM executables and see if I can actually read it what someone else have written in NIM, and then see if I can try to reverse engineer it. Of course, start with simple things, but as soon as progressing, okay. I think I can see it. Let's get faster in these things. Let's do more. But for now, okay, I'm at my first program, which is pretty simple to understand. But for now, I am actually going to, oh yeah. I'm going to quit the stream. I want to thank everyone for watching. Hopefully you learned something as well, as I have learned something. So that is good. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hopefully I will see you next time, and have a great night. Good night.
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. can't steer the wheel, cause this driving feels, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels, I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold, cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold, cause I can't move on till I let go.